next speakers, I just met them this morning. I met them at other events. But what's exciting about Kristi and Jaret is the fact that they were with EXP. They had their own independent in 2018. Then they left to buy a franchise. Ooh, was that exciting? No. You can feel their pain if you ever bought a franchise, right? And then they came back to us in 2021. So their story's going to resonate so much with you guys. The best thing I know about them is that Kristi was an author by sixth grade. She had a poem published in National Publishers. So, what an author. I can't wait to hear your poem.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay. And Jaret, I've known he's my kindred spirit. He flips everything. If you want to sell him something, he'll figure out how much he can turn it around, make it better, and flip it for more money. That's who he is. They have one girl, one daughter, who's actually got her license a year ago, right? And 3 boys that don't know what they're going to do. We know if you've had boys. So, from Tahoe, let's give it up. Come on, Kristi and Jaret, come on up here! Woo!
Aloha.
Aloha. So, we've got quite a story to share, honey. Why don't you come over here? Sure. And we'll hopefully give a little bit of a different spin, but why don't you start off, honey, by sharing what we believe?
Well, one of our core beliefs as a couple, as a family, as a real estate family, really, is to live our life by giving to others. And really, I think the secret to giving maybe more successfully to others is not expect anything in return. That can be hard some days, but that's really a founding principle of the way that we try to live our life. And what we're going to talk about today, and Jaret will continue, is the 7 pillars that we have found success with in our life, in our relationship, that helps us run our business together.
Well, and I want to begin by actually sharing with everybody that I think it's important that we acknowledge the people that are in the room here today. I want to especially acknowledge Gene and Brent, James, Rob, and their team, because without these events, we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be there. And so thank you so much, everybody, for this, because we know that these type of events can change lives. And we started getting in rooms because we know the value of learning and growing comes from meeting amazing, dynamic people.
Dylan said that earlier in his presentation, that if you want to be impacting people and doing big things, you've got to put yourself in rooms with people that think bigger than you do.
And we believe that we're partners in life. We believe that here's what's important. Like Kristi said, if we help enough people, we'll get exactly what we want. I'm sure we've all heard this. But what we really wanted to do today was change the narrative here and really do a workshop. We believe walking out with an implementation strategy of something that we do in our business and in our life will help each of you, because we know some of you are on a different path. Some of you are on your way to what? Possibly build your team. You want more production. You want to build a larger organization. You're looking to grow your leadership. So we're going to share a strategy that you can work right now and implement. So like Brent said, get a notepad, they're on the table, and work along with us as we kind of go through this. And we'll talk a little bit briefly about our background. I was known as the flipper, yes. That actually came from flipping homes actually initially in the early 90s in the Bay Area.
I'm
before I
surprised
got into
all of
real
our
estate.
kids are still around that he hasn't flipped any of them.
So, yeah. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about our journey in real brief, because, we all want to put our glory story up. And we have quite a history after 34 years together and 4 amazing kids, which actually Gene talked about. And we began our real estate journey together in 2003 with Remax, actually working with Brent. And it was an amazing experience for us. I think that it helped us really build our foundation of learning, and we really appreciated everything that came from that. But we really felt that we needed to do more. Why don't you hit that next one, Chris?
Yeah, so we felt that we I think sometimes in our lives and in our businesses, we all feel like we can do it better than the person before us, right? So we felt like there was a better way. And we set out to start our own boutique independent brokerage, which we did in 2009. Really great economy to go out and start your own business. But we ran that for a decade. We have helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buyers and sellers acquire and sell real estate in multiple markets. We're in multiple states, which is something that would be very difficult to do if we weren't at this amazing company. I lost my spot in the thing
as
there.
Gene elaborated, he talked about is we had purchased a franchise. So we did come here initially and then go out and actually we just wanted to experiment, just a little bit more pain. And so if any of you have owned a franchise or ever thought about it, let us save you right here. Or talk to Gene or talk to anyone that has. But this is what we do today. We spend time traveling. We're in another journey in our life just like you are. And we love connecting with others and really impacting lives. So I want to talk about what Kristi mentioned was our secret, the 7 C's. So get your notepads out here. And here's what I want you to think. I want you to really write some things down. 7 C's. C's. Words with C's that will drive what you're trying to achieve. Okay? We believe with this strategy, and if you review it every year, these aren't core values, okay? And so as we explain to you what we do and share our C's with you, I think it'll be a platform that you can utilize right now in your business, and hopefully you walk out of here, okay? So think about it. If you're looking to acquire agents, you're looking to attract to agents, coachability might be important, right? Character. If you're a leader that's looking to grow, you might want to have that piece be a part of it. So let's kind of just jump right into it here. So the first C for us, Kristi, is
commitment. And before we totally dive into these things, I want to say that these 7 C's for us are really foundational principles that we live in our life. They are part of the foundation and the strength of our relationship. And what I believe is that all of us as people, we have to be people first. And if you don't have the right founding principles and the right moral compass in your life, you can't be the leader that so many people out there need us to be. So for us, the 7 C's, it all starts and stops with commitment.
Anybody else agree with that? Commitment, right? So I've got a crazy story I'll share with you is that we're pretty close with a lot of people here, a lot of important people, speaking of getting in rooms. So Curtis Johnson, anybody know this amazing person? And we had the opportunity to get into a private room that he had did. And one of the things that he talked about was this room was packed, 55 people, shoulder to shoulder in his office. And this is the thing that he said right in the beginning. You're either all in or you're not. There's no toe dipping, okay? And it really hit us, and we talk about it a lot. But in our relationship, I would think after 34 years, you have to be pretty committed or need to be committed for her to stick around. So commitment is huge, and we take it as a value that we think everybody else should as well. But you need to define that as well. But that's our number one commitment. Number one, communication. The key to successful relationships is communication. Not only in obviously personal relationships, but we believe it's also important in relationships with agents, with partners, right? We all know as soon as you don't hear from somebody or that agent goes dark, they're probably going away. And sometimes we sit back and we forget to communicate how important follow-up is. You heard it talked to today. Follow-up. I can't imagine how many people miss the opportunities because they don't follow up. Communication is key.
And open and honest communication, too. If you're in production with your clients, you have to be able to have those hard conversations and not just be telling them things that you think they want to hear. Same with your agent. Same with your kids. We have children, and, sometimes you have to have those hard conversations. Sometimes we have to be willing to accept the feedback from those hard conversations, too. Jaret keeps me pretty accountable and tells me very honestly things that sometimes I don't want to hear, but always in hindsight, they're things we need to hear. Right?
Consistency is our third one that we think is important. And I challenge you as you're writing these things down. These C's need to be things that you need to be better at as well, right? And this is why this is on our list. Look, where are we, Maui? I mean, it's beautiful here. There's a lot of distractions. You know, we have this on our list because we want to be more consistent. It's important. I think that that's missed everywhere in our industry, right? The ones that you see that have success, you see they build an empire. What seems like overnight, I guarantee you they're consistent and persistent, and they never quit. And we can control consistency. Okay, if our agents were more consistent on calls and follow-ups and prospects, I bet a lot of us would be really happy. So consistency is key for us.
Definitely.
Why don't you talk about challenges?
Challenges.
Besides being married to me.
That's not a challenge, honey. The challenges are a constant part of life and business. You know, things can be going along really, really well, and so many things can happen. That deal can fall apart. You know, you can have a tragedy in your family. You know, we've experienced that with losses of parents, with, you know, problems with kids. A mentor of mine a number of years ago said to me, and he had a big blended family. I think they had 7 children together, and he said to me, you know, having a family like this is like a paned glass window. You just wake up every day and hope that not more than one pane is fogged up at a time.
Well, and
but those that's a challenge. You know, I mean, you can have an issue with your house. You know, my God, we just listened to the presentation about the Maui fires. Nobody woke up and thought that was going to happen to them. So on a scale of little to big, there's so many challenges that we have to overcome on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and the key is these other principles.
yeah, and
being
I think
consistent and having communication and dealing with those challenges.
Oh, for sure. And I would add, I mean, we live on 100-0. Is anybody familiar with 100-0? Okay, we got a few people in here. Is that a few honey badgers? So look, write it down. 100% accountability, 0 excuses. If you're going to allow the market to demand or determine what you're doing, it's going to be a rough road. Look, we can control a lot of things, and challenges are a constant in our lives, and they are out of our control, right? And we all are faced with them. So it's how we handle adversity is how we grow and how we become better. And I like to talk a lot about this one. And it was funny because I said, I'm not going to talk about this. She asked me. It's not a typo. Change. Change is the one constant that you actually control. I'm just going to sit here for a second and let you think about that. Okay? Does anybody agree or disagree?
Nobody
Does anybody agree or disagree? Okay, listen. This is what, and that's good. And I know when I'm in a room of people that are very good at what they do. So here's the thing. You can change your environment at any time. You can change the outcome at any time. The decisions you make will impact you and everybody around you forever. What usually happens is most people fear change. They're afraid to make that move. They know. In fact, actually, we heard a story of the unrecruitable, which was great, right? I know there was a bunch of people that said, boy, we could get him. He would be really, really good. They were afraid to call him. So you might be afraid to make that call, that person that you know. It might be the next star in your organization. Don't have fear, okay? Change is what you need to do to grow and get better and have a huge success, okay? And this one was in for my wife. Come on, it was.
Well,
come on.
We all have to be a little bit crazy to be in this business, right? I mean, it can be tough if we don't know what we're doing. And I listened to Brent. It was in 2022? I guess it was 2022 already. I want to say 2 years ago, but I know it wasn't quite 2 years ago. He was gracious enough to speak at an event that we do in Tahoe where we live, and he came and talked to us, and he said, hey, if you want to get after it, you just have to go caveman. You have to go cavewoman. You got to be a little bit crazy.
That's right.
I mean, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And, you know, it was crazy for me to get into this business. I left I wasn't comfortable. I didn't particularly like what I was doing, but a corporate job in banking, and it was just crazy enough for me to say, I'm going to leave that and go support his growing real estate business. But I think at the end of the day, a little bit of crazy is a little bit good.
Yeah, and I think we'd all agree that this business and this industry is crazy, and I think probably 2/3 in this room are nuts. So if I was, because seriously, I've been around for a little while now and been out of the sales thing for nearly a decade, and I'll tell you right now, the best people I've ever met are the crazy ones.
I want to know who defines that anyway. I mean, really.
Yeah, what
who
is crazy?
defines that?
Well, it's true, and we're definitely surrounded by crazy people. So, and I'm going to spend a minute on this one here. So, is everybody following along here? We good? Is this good stuff here? Okay, we got it. All right, let's go. Okay, I want to make sure we're hitting it here because you like this last slide. I know I wrote this last slide for Brent, but here's the thing that I want to talk about, and this is the most important C, and it's the community. Okay, and I think that you're sitting in it right now. You're living in it. Okay, you're going to build it. Without a community in a virtual company, you're going to challenge. The biggest challenge EXP has is the virtual model. We built one, okay? You have to build community. Community is important, but more importantly, you need to understand how the community around you is already here, can help you, okay? And that's what's so special about EXP. We know firsthand. We believe that we have built great communities. But what I'll tell you is, this is the best community in all of real estate. Period. Period.
Yeah.
100%. The people here are just different. And we have went around and been in almost anything that we could afford, imagine, make happen, every room that we've been there. And what we know is the community is so important, and the people that are here are the right people. Let's think about this. Does Brent need to do this? Let's be real. Not a chance. Yes, he does. Does Gene need to do this? Is he here to golf? But the fact is, our community here is what is different. It is the 100% thing that is different. And I don't know, I know about half this room is probably, and I've seen the video, I wasn't there, our good friend Jay Kender. I love that guy. Cabo, a couple years ago, came on stage with no shoes, Jay Kender-like, shorts and a t-shirt straight from the pool, I would think. And there was something that he said that I caught in the video, because I make sure when I can't be there, I watch the content and the things that are available to me. And I seen this and it just resonated. And there was something that I will not forget that he said. And there's all this talk of a couple of C words here, copycat companies. And he wanted to make it a point. It must have been a lot of collaboration around the pool and communication about this. And he came in and he said, look, it's a compliment. People are going to copy this company or try to copy this company. And maybe they'll do something a little better or a little different. That's okay. You can't copy the people here. Period. You can't copy the people here. I know Brent from when I worked with him years ago. I know the people, their souls, how they really, really, truly care. Not just the people that we want to think of, but the people that are just right here. They're just right here. Chris, share your community experience here real quick, and then I'm going to get to the last slide.
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about community from the family standpoint.
Yep.
For me, I'm a Gen Xer. I don't know how many Gen Xers are in the room, but we were raised sort of feral, most of us. I was raised by a community. I grew up in the same house. My parents were married for, ever and ever and ever and ever. By most standards, probably a very stable household, right? But both my parents worked full time. In fact, my dad was a real estate broker, went into title insurance, so I sort of grew up in this industry to some extent. But I was raised by a community. I had aunts and uncles and cousins, and when my parents weren't around, That's where I was. And so for me, I think community is really, really important because people have just a fundamental need, I think probably at a genetic level, to be part of something. And so community to us, to our family, to our agents, we have a production team and we have partner agents as well, and we're in multiple states. Being able to create a space where people are a part of something is so very, very important.
Yeah, and I think so we got a little bit of time here, and I want to share a little piece here that our connection with the islands here. So our youngest is at the University of Hawaii, and we're very proud. I'm very proud I applied for him.
We'll be talking to one of your
So,
Oahu agents probably. We would really like to talk to you.
So we're proud for a lot of different reasons. We're proud that our son was brave enough to come to somewhere he had never been and to face adversity and learn about a new culture. And we knew that he would do really well, and he loves it. And so far, Dad, Mom, I'm not leaving. So, but what I really learned and what I've really seen was ohana and family and community and how important it is. And we have really taken to that. And we've encouraged him to get involved, and he has. And it's powerful and it's important that each of us understand that with community, you can change anything. Without it, you're alone. And we all need it. And I think the pandemic thrust us into that. We learned really quick how important, as much as I said over and over, I can't stand people, that what would end up happening is you realize that we need people. We need our community. We need our people. And they're here. So I applaud you for doing this. No matter how you got here, no matter how your journey got you here. And I'm so thankful and grateful for the opportunity that Brent and James made to us and calling us.
Yeah, and you've just created another community of people. It's just that easy.
Yeah, and it is. And that phone call meant more than you'll ever know. Because like you, we believe we have a story to share. And we all have something unique to give. And we just need to tell and share our stories. And we need to have compassion, and we need to have a love for understanding that, look, just give. Just help. We heard that earlier. How you differentiate yourself in this world is give everything and expect nothing. We believe 100%. All the times my wife said, "Why are you doing this, honey?" And I said, "Because someday it will pay." So that's a belief, and it's real for us. And I know it can be real for each of you. So this is, whether it's appropriate or not, maybe Brent should come up here and say this. This is the last slides. Oh, okay. Hey, a couple of great short things. I got a couple more minutes here.
We have 2.
Okay, great. So always be learning. So 2. So anybody know Renee Rodriguez? If you don't scan the QR code, you need to. This book right here or the Audible is a game changer for you. So just get a picture of that. He's a personal friend. I met him in 2010. If you're looking to become better in life and have influence as a leader and understand the science of the brain, this is your guy. I'd love to see him speak at one of our events. Yes, I'm promoting him. And this is a great book I recently read too, Mind Your Mindset. I believe that this is what's going to determine everything you do in life.
Absolutely.
And
you attract what you think. I think, that law of attraction is a real thing.
100%.
To your negative mindset, you're going to attract negative things.
And to close, hopefully, we don't find this too inappropriate. You could all take a picture of it, and I'll share it. Didn't trademark it. Let's get real. There's only one epic realty company, and it's not LPT. It's EXP, baby.
That's right. That is right. Mahalo, everybody. We hope to connect with you this week. Enjoy your time here.